You've been told your whole life that your brain is the problem, that you're too much or not enough, that you just need to try harder, focus more, get it together. I'm Dr. B, and I'm here to tell you that everything you've been told is wrong. You're bright, you're gifted, you're wired for something extraordinary. What you're missing isn't willpower, and it isn't a higher dose. It's skills, specific, learnable skills that nobody ever taught you. This is living beyond ADHD, where we stop managing your limitations and start unleashing your brilliance. Let's get into it now. Episode 131, Emotional Dysregulation, the symptom everyone ignores. Of all the symptoms of ADHD, the inattention, the hyperactivity, whether your body or your brain, the impulsivity, the time blindness, the disorganization, there is one that is talked about the least and that affects daily life the most. Emotional dysregulation, the intensity of feeling things that can hijack an entire day. The anger that goes from 0 to 10 in an instant. The rejection that lands like a physical blow. The frustration that becomes a wall you can't get through. The excitement that burns so bright it blinds you to everything else. If you've ever thought, why do I feel everything so much? This episode is your answer. Let's be clear about what we're talking about. Emotional dysregulation in ADHD is not being too emotional or oversensitive. Those are dismissive descriptions that miss the neurological reality. What's happening is this. The ADHD brain has a compromised ability to regulate the intensity, duration, and appropriateness of emotional responses. The emotion itself, the initial feeling, is often proportional to the situation. What's dysregulated is what happens after that initial feeling hits. In a neurotypical brain, there are neurological breaks. The prefrontal cortex, that management system that we've talked about, it can modulate the emotional response. It can say, yes, this is frustrating. And let's keep the frustration at a manageable level while we deal with it. In the ADHD brain, those breaks are less reliable. The emotion floods in at full intensity and stays. The modulation that most people apply automatically, it has to be learned, developed, practiced, and consciously deployed. I want to spend a moment on a specific form of emotional dysregulation that is extraordinarily common ADHD adults and almost never talked about. Rejection, sensitivity, dysphoria, or RSD. This is an extreme emotional sensitivity to perceived rejection, criticism, failure, or teasing. And I want to be precise about the word perceived. The rejection doesn't have to be real. The brain interprets a look, a tone of voice, an unanswered text, a piece of feedback as rejection. And the emotional response is immediate and overwhelming. People with rejection-sensitive dysphoria will often organize their entire lives around avoiding the possibility of rejection. They won't put themselves forward for opportunities. They won't share their ideas. They won't take risks. They'll say, I don't care about that. When the truth is, I care so much, I can't risk being rejected. And the cost of this is enormous. Careers not pursued, relationships not risked, gifts not shared, a life lived in the margins of what's possible, all to avoid a pain that the ADHD brain experiences with unusual intensity. What actually builds emotional regulation with adults? Naming and awareness. You cannot regulate what you can't identify. The first skill is learning to name your emotional states with precision. Not just, I'm upset, but I'm experiencing rejection sensitivity right now, and my nervous system is in alarm. Naming reduces intensity. Research consistently shows that labeling an emotion decreases its grip. Nervous system regulation as foundation. We've talked about this before. Your nervous system state governs everything. When it's in alarm, emotional regulation is nearly impossible. The practices that regulate your nervous system, breath, movement, sensory work, grounding, are the same practices that create the conditions for emotional regulation. The pause, creating the tiniest possible gap between the emotional trigger and your response. Just a breath, a moment, enough time for the prefrontal cortex to come back online. This is a trainable skill. It starts with 1 second and it grows. Processing versus reacting. Emotions are information. They're trying to tell you something. Learning to process what an emotion is telling you rather than immediately reacting to it is one of the most sophisticated skills a human being can develop. And it's available to you. Don't shoot the messenger. You are not too emotional. You are not oversensitive. You are not difficult. You have a brain that feels things intensely and has not yet been given the tools to work with that intensity skillfully. Those tools exist. They can be built, they can be developed. And when they are, the intensity that used to be a liability becomes something else entirely. It becomes depth, empathy, passion, the ability to care deeply about what matters. That's the gift on the other side of this work. Next week, ADHD and relationships, how it shows up, what it costs, and what skills change things. I'll see you then. I'm Dr. B. This is Living Beyond ADHD. Take good care of that brilliant brain of yours. That's what I have for you today. I hope something landed. I hope something shifted, even just a little, because that's how this works. Not all at once, but one insight, one skill, one episode at a time. You are not your diagnosis. You are not your history. You are a brilliant adult who deserves a life that actually works. And that life is buildable. I've seen it. I've lived it. If you're ready to go further, come find me at drbarbaracohen.com. All the episodes are there, along with information about my 9-month program, Get Shit Done, GSD, where we do this work for real, together, all the way through. Subscribe wherever you listen. Share this with someone who needs it. And I will be back next week with more truth. I'm Dr. B. This is Living Beyond ADHD. Take care of that brilliant brain of yours.